Peace fam, it's Tiffany Hills popping in with a video. Now this video, I've been kind of sitting with it for a minute because the information been coming, but what I've been realizing is the more I talk about it in the video, the more the understanding and the information comes forth. So that's what I've been noticing lately with how I've been channeling lately. Like I don't get the full message before I do the video. It's like only after I start to talk about it, then it starts to, all the information comes. That's what happened last time. So listen, this video was going to be entitled Double Underworld Rewards. Double Underworld Rewards. Now let's get into it. Now, let's see where I'm going to start. I had a dream probably in 2018 of a guy I used to work with. His name was Kevin. And Kevin was like a brother to me. Me and Kevin was like, we was like this. And I think Kevin was probably maybe 2 years older than me. But, when we worked at the airlines, we, certain, depending on where you worked, it's like A gates, B gates, C gates. We worked the C gates. And C gates was kind of like a cakewalk. You know what I mean? So you was lucky to get, that type of, if you were able to be in that area. So, because those flights carried the small bags or the little mosquito looking planes, so they never really had a whole lot of bags. Anywho, me and Kevin was really close, but we was like more so, we didn't do anything outside of work. When we get to work, we would, we kept in touch, afterwards, just through phone or messaging. I don't think we ever got on social media, but let me just tell the story. So I had a dream about Kevin 2018. Or was it 2019? 2019. And in this dream, I remember waking up and we were in bed and he was like, hold my waist. Like, right before y'all about to get out, you and your mate get up and y'all about to start y'all day. He was like, hold my waist so tight. And I woke up just feeling that feeling. You know what I mean? He's like, kind of like, where you going? And the way he was holding me, it was like, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It was just this very tight embrace, very mate like, just love. You know what I'm saying? And me and Kevin wasn't like that. Me and Kevin was like brother and sister. And he would tell me all the time, Tiff, you remind me of my sister. Now let's give a breakdown of Kevin. Kevin was one of the nicest guys I have ever met in my life. He married someone at that time. This is why we used to talk so much. He was married to someone who was very just an evil person, you know what I'm saying? And he just went above and beyond. They had 2 children. He went above and beyond to make her happy. Well, she just ran him into the dirt, just did all type of, things to hurt him. Not all type of things, but she just really wanted to, like, it was just her duty and job in life to hurt him. And so he was just trying to find some type of way to appease her. But they did end up getting the divorce. But when we started, he started sharing these things with me, he told me that she ended up getting sick. And so he said the only way for her to get medical care is if he married her again, so she could get his benefits. And I was just like, Kev, you know what I'm saying? And so he did it, and she went back to being, just horrible to him and things of that nature. He's like, Tiff, what should I do? And you gotta remember, we young, you know what I'm saying? And he was probably maybe early 30s. And so we would talk all the time. He's like, Tiff, my sister talks to me like this all the time. And you like really get into, because I'm like, Kevin, you just can't be allowing her to treat you this way and things of that nature. We would just, have those conversations every now and then. And I would go and ask him about, the guys I was dating. And we were just very, very honest with each other. And so you don't really see the value of these relationships until you go back in hindsight. So anyway, time goes on, and I think they end up getting a divorce again, and they kind of go their separate ways. And he's just, he's not happy with his children being here, and the whole family. He wanted to keep his family together. That was what he wanted. So as time goes on, one particular day he had surgery on his teeth, and so he come to work, and he was not Kev. Kev was always laughing. We was always joking. Just always a lot going on, where we was just very festive all the time. And so he was just sitting in the corner and he was tired. He was just quiet. I'm like, what's going on, Kev? He was like, I just had, I think he had like a root canal or something, extreme. And so he was just quiet. And he was like, I'm in a lot of pain, Tiff. And he just, you be in pain, you can't do nothing but shake your leg. So he just sitting there, and so the rest of us, the Northwest was the place that I learned what loyalty really was. If somebody died, you went to the funeral. If they lost a parent, you went to the funeral. If somebody was having a hard time coming up with some money, we took up collections. I learned so much at the airlines. So anyway, he's sitting down and he's like, he's in a lot of pain. So a couple of guys, I remember he just, he was still trying to run his flights, and I was like, why didn't you call in? He's like, I couldn't afford to call in because we was on levels. You know what I mean? Depends on how many days you missed. You go on level 1, level 2, level 3. You definitely didn't want to get to level 3. So anywho, he's sitting there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take his next flight. I don't care how many bags he got or whatever the case may be. I can do my flight and I can do his flight. So I get up. I say, Kev, give me your flight. And he like, no, Tiff, I got it. Don't worry about it. And he was like one of them manly men. He don't like for no woman to do nothing for you. I was like, give me your flight. So he reluctantly handed over his little paper. So I ran my flight, ran his flight. And so I just remember when he would be going through the things with his ex-wife and how I could catch him, even though he was laughing. I could just tell like he was in a lot of pain, And so I remember, I told y'all he was a poet, and I wrote him a poem, and I got it printed out, framed, everything. So I read it to him. I said, "This is for you." And I think the next day he came. He got me. I don't know what he got me, but I know he got me a card. I think it was like a gift card in the card. And he said, Tiffany, you just don't know what that meant to me. That made me cry. You have been my angel. Like, you are my angel. And so after that, time goes on. We bid different areas. And, I think he ended up bidding out into another station. But we tried to stay in touch as much as we could as far as how you doing, how the kids doing, how the family doing or whatever. Lo and behold, he gets remarried. And when I say this wife loves the socks off of him, sock, shoes, toenails, whatever, treats him like a king, like absolute king. And so I was just wondering, I'm like, why am I dreaming about Kevin? The name Kevin means handsome. And I also mean it was a Saint Kevin too in Ireland, and he had an extreme closeness to nature. He was a teacher, and I think he was like he had a lot of time in solitude, and he had this black bird. So when I seen the black bird, I said that was El Cristo Negro. El Cristo Negro is the Apollo deity, who he's the El Cristo Negro. He's the black rooster and the crow. So the crucified Christ, the black crucified Christ. So I immediately said resurrection. Okay, I said, okay, so that was years ago when I had this dream. What's going on with Kevin now? Not to mention Lafayette Black, his name is Kevin. And we've grown extremely close, like just, a small amount of time. And so I'm like, okay, what's going on? And so Kevin comes and he says, you just don't know what you did for me. And he's still on the planet. He said, you just don't know what you did for me. I'm so grateful to you. And this was right after the Million Man crossover. And so I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And so he says, you just don't know what you did for me. You took my flight. And I'm like, okay. And he said, well, you took my flight, pretty much meaning you took on the hardships that I couldn't take. You took and transmuted that energy so that I could become the man I am today, or be in connection with his spiritual walk by him being meeting this young lady, and them going into this marriage, and him being loved up in a way that he probably never imagined that he could. You know what I'm saying? And so when you do that, you have connected them to their soul twin. You have connected them to their spiritual work. You pretty much go to the underworld for them. You see what I'm saying? You go to the underworld for them to carry the hardships that they can't. So even though it may not be nothing to you, to be like, listen, this is what you do. You know what I mean? You don't take this off nobody. You're this, you that. You build up their self-esteem. You build up their self-worth. You tell them that they're worth it, and then you show them. And so that's what it was. And so he's like, you took my flight for me. You took what I couldn't carry. You know what I mean? You handled those bags for me. You looked out for me. You talked me up. You gave me my value. And so in that sense, I resurrected him in the spiritual aspect of him and what he was supposed to do on this planet, and he was able to walk right into that. And so in saying double underworld rewards, we go through the underworld for ourselves, and when we take on hardships for people or a person or a group of people or family members, and we take on that weight, and we able to push them through to get to where they need to be, to plug them into where they're supposed to be serving their sole purpose and life mission. We're able to do that for them, so we get double underworld rewards. And so Kev said, Tiff, no, not only that, it's retroactive back to all of the times. And it's not like tit for tat, you keeping track of everything you did for somebody, but it's even before you came into consciousness, you would just do things, just natural. It's just natural for you to do things. And so Kev said it's retroactive to who knows when in this lifetime, to when you begin to carry this weight for people. You know what I mean? So now you get double for your trouble. You know what I'm saying? You get double. And so whenever you find yourself feeling like, oh, I lack this or I lack that, or you're not really believing in your gifts, talents, and natural abilities, it's just, fear coming in another disguise. And when you feel that you're lacking nothing but creativity, tap into your creativity. And so he said, you will lack no resource. He said, we lack no resource. We are overabundant in whatever resources is being exchanged at that time. So, even though we know this system is falling, and we know that the money system is going to change over, but even all out the door, you know what I'm saying? We have abundance of money, and we have to see that. We have to create that. And when enough of us do it, you know what I'm saying, just on our own, it adds to the collective, and then lo and behold, this whole shit changes. It shifts. You see what I'm saying? And so the double underworld rewards, and some of y'all are like, dang, but when these people come back to you, that's when you know. So they can come back to you just in physical form. They can come back to you through a channel or a message or telepathy to let you know, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. And that's another thing I've been hearing. My favorite word is congratulations. And I've been hearing that over and over and over. Matter of fact, Kevin Black, Lafayette Black, he was like, Tiff, I just feel the need to tell you congratulations. I rolled past and seen the sign at congratulations, class of 93. Then I'm reading my numerology numbers, and it's like congratulations. And me and Mook was talking about congratulations, class of 93, congratulations. It's like this congratulations is going on, and everywhere I look, it's like thank you. When you look on the little grocery bags, it says thank you, thank you, thank you. Like all of these men are just like thanking me, and a lot of them can't wait to come and tell me their stories. So I'll be picking up those messages. And so usually when me and Kevin were working together on the physical side, we brother and sister, you know what I'm saying? But in the spiritual side, it's more of a mate. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he's like, Tiff, you lack nothing. The same thing I did for him is what he's like really doing for me, like pushing me through, like as we going through these transitions, as we going through, changing up and moving, and changing careers, and our own personal transformations. It's like we are really I don't know, we doing more than what we really realize that we're doing. We're growing in leaps and bounds. We're being catapulted into these positions of royalty. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what Kevin came back to tell me. He was like, you just don't know what you did for me when you took my flight and you took on that all of that heaviness I could not carry. You know what I'm saying? And you transmuted that energy for me, and you helped transform me. You resurrected me and restored my value. You know what I'm saying? So we get double underworld rewards. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, we go through stuff and we be like, I don't know why I'm going through this, or I just came out of something, I gotta go through something else. And it's like some of us are just so strong that we can carry the weight, and that's just how we built. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So I just want to pop in here with that. So y'all can contact me for your fairy readings, your spiritual consultations, your dream interpretations, your inspirational tailor-made voice notes, and your fairy dust. At all of the information will be in the description box at tiffany'sloveheals@gmail.com. And that's another thing, because I was like, why, Spirit, why I don't get to have a fancy website, and why don't I get to, do all these things? It's like people can't, people won't be able to just directly just reach out and touch you. You know what I'm saying? They have to go through, and I said this when I was Tiffany Messenger, they have to go through a certain protocol. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I stay protected. That's how I am able to link up with some of the most beautiful souls on the planet. It's just, it's almost like a quest. You know what I'm saying? With the fairy energies, it's always some type of quest. It's always something, you have to be willing to sacrifice, or you have to say, okay, well, I ain't used to doing it this way, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it because, I have a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know that this is gonna turn out well. So yeah, so it's like, when I try to do things, not so much like everybody else, but I just want a polished look to things, or I want things to be a certain way. Spirit be like, nope. Nope, this is where we gonna do it. So yeah, that's just how it is for me. So in the meantime, in between time, fam, retroactive to, let's just say, childhood. You know what I'm saying? You have all type of rewards. So you know that these things come in the form of we know it comes in the form of money, it comes in the form of health, it comes in the form of resources, it comes in the form of favor, it comes in the form of connections, it comes in so many forms. So just be grateful. Be grateful for where you are now. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful for all the things you've created. Be grateful for everything that you've experienced. You know what I mean? Up until this point, the good, bad, the ugly. And so now we just walking in this beauty. You know what I'm saying? This beautiful life that we've been blessed with. So I just wanted to pop in here with that, family. I will talk with y'all in the next video. I got some podcasts coming up real soon. So peace, 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 and blessings.